Hi, welcome to Bookie. Today we will unlock the book The Lean Startup: How Today's Entrepreneurs Use Continuous Innovation to Create Radically Successful Businesses. In an era of unprecedented entrepreneurial renaissance, how could a startup stand out from fierce competition and succeed? A great product, an amazing team, or an extraordinary idea? The answer is none of these. A business with a great product could easily fail if its marketing strategy is improper, but even a perfect marketing strategy does not guarantee success. A startup with both a good product and a marketing strategy in line with market demands might gain some early success, but it could still fail from blind expansion and excessive operating expenses. Even a world-renowned company like Kodak could eventually go bankrupt due to its inability to adapt to market changes and transform its business. On top of idea, product, team, and other elements, a startup that wants to be successful and continue to grow needs to have a set of scientific management practices. If a company can do this, it will develop and grow in an orderly manner and put itself in a nearly invincible position. Many startups fail due to improper management practices, so some entrepreneurs try to imitate the management practices of those long-established enterprises. But they neglected one fact: although the traditional enterprises have mature management models, their models are not applicable or appropriate for startups. The practices of traditional enterprises are based on a stable market environment, while startups face a chaotic market environment with extreme uncertainty. As a result, the conventional management practices are not helpful to the development of startups, and sometimes those practices may even introduce bureaucracy and kill creativity instead. On the other hand, some other entrepreneurs do the exact opposite: they completely abandon the conventional management principles and just follow their instincts. But this also doesn't guarantee success and can be problematic. So how exactly should entrepreneurs manage their startups in order to succeed? This book proposes the idea of a lean startup. By developing a minimum viable product, MVP, a startup could quickly validate if a product meets customers' needs at the minimum cost and in the shortest time. The process is called validated learning, which can help entrepreneurs improve their chances of success. The concept of lean startup was highly regarded after being tested in the market. It's also been extensively reported in the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Harvard Business Review, the Huffington Post, and many other media. Ries, the author of the book, is the co-founder and CTO of IMVU and also an entrepreneur in residence at Harvard Business School. He created the concept of lean startup and established IMVU using this method. Ries provides consulting services related to business and product strategy for a number of startups, large companies, and venture capital institutions. He's helped many startups to succeed. In this Bookie, we will analyze the Lean Startup book in 3 parts. Part 1, The Fundamentals of a Lean Startup. Part 2, Using Lean Startup to Achieve Early Success. Part 3, How to Further Grow a Startup. First, let's take a look at what a lean startup is. The idea of lean startup comes from the concept of lean production, which was originally proposed by Taiichi Ohno and Shigeo Shingo from Japanese automaker Toyota. It refers to the reduction of production scale for each batch in order to achieve real-time production and zero inventory. This way the production line can effectively minimize the waste. Ries modified the concept of lean production to apply it to entrepreneurship, and then built the scientific management model for startups, the lean startup. The public often thinks all entrepreneurs came from humble beginnings, like how Steve Jobs started his career in his father's garage. But Ries thinks differently. He clearly defines entrepreneurship in this book as follows: under extreme uncertainty, any institution that's established to create new products and services is a startup, and anyone who works at such an institution is an entrepreneur. The fundamental activity of a startup is to turn ideas into products, measure how customers respond, and then learn whether to pivot or persevere. Now, this sounds simple enough, but in reality, there are many difficulties. Startups operate in an uncertain environment, where they typically don't know who their customers are going or what their products should look like. Even after conducting